A military transport helicopter slammed onto the tarmac outside a naval hospital in Coronado, California, its blades slicing the salty air as medics rushed forward under flashing red lights. In the center of the chaos lay a wounded Navy SEAL commander named Jacob Mercer, bleeding heavily and barely conscious, while a massive Belgian Malinois named Rex snarled and snapped at anyone who came too close. Doctors shouted orders, nurses hesitated, and security struggled to contain the animal, but the K-9 refused to move even an inch away from his partner's side. The scene felt like a war zone transported into a quiet hospital courtyard, and fear rippled through everyone watching as minutes ticked by and Jacob's life hung in the balance. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unexpected heroes, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so more people can hear stories that remind us how humanity shines even in the darkest moments. Inside the emergency bay, tension thickened with every passing second. Senior Surgeon Michael Hayes barked instructions while trauma nurse Olivia Brooks tried to stabilize Jacob's vitals from a distance, but Rex's protective instincts were unbreakable. The dog had survived multiple deployments with Jacob, and his loyalty had hardened into a fierce shield that no stranger could cross. Staff whispered stories about combat dogs refusing to leave fallen soldiers, but none had ever seen a situation this extreme. The dog's eyes never left Jacob's face, his low growl vibrating through the sterile room like thunder waiting to strike. Fear mixed with helplessness as precious time slipped away, and the hospital's best mind stood frozen, unsure how to help without risking serious injury. In the middle of the chaos stood a rookie nurse named Sarah Whitaker, barely 3 months into her first assignment. She had grown up in a small Ohio town with a military family and had always dreamed of serving wounded veterans, but nothing in her training prepared her for a combat-hardened K-9 guarding a dying commander. While others stepped back, Sarah felt a quiet determination rising in her chest, fueled by memories of her older brother who once served in a special operations unit. She remembered late-night conversations about trust, loyalty, and the unspoken bonds forged in combat. As doctors debated sedating the dog, Sarah hesitated, her mind racing through fragments of stories she had heard about unit rituals and codes that only insiders knew. The hospital atmosphere darkened as alarms blared and Jacob's pulse weakened. Frustration grew among the staff as attempts to approach ended with Rex lunging forward, forcing everyone to retreat. Some called for animal control, while others feared that separating the dog violently would traumatize both Rex and the wounded commander beyond repair. Sarah watched Jacob's pale face and the trembling tension in Rex's muscles, sensing that the dog's aggression came not from cruelty but from desperate loyalty. She felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders, and doubt gnawed at her confidence as a rookie surrounded by seasoned professionals. Yet something deep inside whispered that she might hold the key to reaching the animal. Taking a deep breath, Sarah stepped forward slowly, her hands visible and her movements gentle. Instead of rushing, she lowered herself to the floor a few feet away from Rex and spoke a quiet sequence of words she remembered from her brother's stories about SEAL units, a simple phrase meant to signal safety and brotherhood. The room fell silent as Rex's growl softened into a low whimper, his ears twitching with recognition. Sarah repeated the phrase calmly, her voice steady despite her pounding heart, and the dog's posture shifted as confusion replaced aggression. In a moment that felt suspended in time, Rex moved slightly aside, allowing Sarah to touch Jacob's shoulder and begin guiding the medical team closer. Relief surged through the room as doctors rushed in to begin life-saving treatment. Surgeon Michael Hayes worked with fierce concentration while Olivia Brooks assisted with precision, their movements synchronized in a race against death. Sarah remained beside Rex, gently reassuring him while maintaining eye contact, ensuring the dog felt included rather than threatened. As blood transfusions started and wounds were treated, the tension slowly transformed into cautious hope. Rex lay quietly near Jacob's feet, watching every movement but no longer resisting, his loyalty now aligned with the team's mission to save his partner's life. Hours passed like years as the surgical team fought to stabilize Jacob. Sarah struggled with exhaustion and fear, questioning whether her decision to step forward had been reckless or brave, but every time doubt crept in, she looked at Rex's trusting eyes and found renewed strength. The bond forming between rookie nurse and combat dog became a silent symbol of resilience, reminding everyone that compassion could break through even the most impenetrable barriers. When Jacob's vital signs finally steadied and the surgeon announced that he would survive, a wave of relief swept through the hospital, leaving many staff members fighting back tears. Days later, Jacob regained consciousness in the recovery ward, his first weak glance landing on Rex and Sarah sitting nearby. The dog wagged his tail softly while Sarah smiled through quiet emotion, aware that she had crossed an invisible threshold from uncertainty to purpose. News of her courage spread throughout the base, but Sarah felt humbled rather than heroic, believing that the true story belonged to the unbreakable bond between soldier and dog. The experience transformed the hospital culture as well, reminding seasoned professionals that sometimes fresh perspectives carried unexpected solutions, and that empathy often opened doors that force never could. As Jacob slowly recovered and began rehabilitation, he learned about the moment when a rookie nurse spoke a secret code that reached his loyal partner's heart. Gratitude filled the room as he thanked Sarah with a nod that carried more weight than words ever could. Rex remained a constant presence, calmer and more trusting, often resting his head on Sarah's knee as if acknowledging her as part of their extended unit. The hospital staff found renewed respect for both the young nurse and the silent heroism of military working dogs, recognizing that courage often appeared in quiet, unexpected forms. Before we reach the end of this story, here is a special request for you. Drop a heartfelt comment sharing where you are watching from and what moment in this journey touched you the most, because your voices help keep stories like this alive and meaningful. Months later, Jacob walked out of the hospital beside Rex, stronger and determined to continue serving others beyond the battlefield. Sarah watched them leave with a mix of pride and humility, knowing that a single moment of bravery had changed multiple lives forever. The memory of that chaotic night remained etched into everyone who witnessed it, a powerful reminder that trust, compassion, and courage could break through fear when it mattered most. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of the power of kindness and loyalty, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, because your support helps bring more real, emotional stories to people who need hope in their lives.